Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another day of Neurostrike. 3 games this week, a doubleheader tonight. You guys should be as excited as I am. We have Dream Esports versus TSG Black, True Synergy Gaming. They play everywhere else. They're gonna play here. Let's get it going. I'll get out of your face. And without further ado, let's dive straight on in. So today, it is going to be a group stage match, meaning we are going to be going to only one map. This means Nighthaven is going to be in store for us today. Now, we casted Nighthaven in the same exact league, in the same exact place earlier in the week, and the main thing, the most important thing that we learned was the teams that get the first 2 rounds, the teams that build up a repertoire earlier in the match, decide the fate of the late game. And once you realize that you have that lead, you can build upon that. And that's what we saw earlier in the week. So let's see if they're going to be able to replicate what we saw previously on Nighthaven Labs. Dream Esports given the absolute blessing of being able to defend first on this map with True Synergy Gaming having to attack. Now, what we also saw last week, we didn't see many players have a good opportunity when it came to attacking, but they lost the first round when they were attacking, and then from there they built upon that. They capitalized, they took a step back, and they reevaluated what they needed to do. From there, they managed to walk on into the building and start destroying anything that walked into their sights, making them the obvious winners, and putting the scoreline at a 7-1. So, first site here for Dream Esports is going to be that basement site. Now, how are you going to be able to play it is the question. Verticality is always needed. We saw some interesting site setups so far in this league, and it looks like these guys have the main idea of what they want to do. What are they going to be able to do? How are they going to be able to capitalize upon this? Verticality, a great step in the right direction. You've broken open the hatch. You've now established the garage control by reinforcing off the walls and setting up what the rotates that funnel all the way back to the cargo. Looks like already we're going to be going into a rehost technical pause. Moss is not looking... Oh. Pause or rehost is the question. What are they going to be able to do, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, Moss already getting in the way of TSG Black. I'm going to keep calling him TSG. I'm thinking of the gun, but I don't know. TSG, I'm going to call them True Synergy because it's so much easier to not mess up. So, as of now, you'll have nobody playing storage. You're already going to have your Deimos fully through the warehouse side, looking to advance, looking to address anybody who walked into his crosshairs, and he is making that progression quite fast. Warden looking to stop that, but will get stopped in his tracks. And now the attackers have moved into the building a minute in, but will suffer the first fatality. Wick finds the first. May have another challenge to do with soon after, but Ace is on the other side of the map. Blackbeard having to isolate his one, finds one, and the second, leaving it at the 3v4. The attackers barely grasp that lead, but now Blackbeard's going to have to deal with this entry, but apparently he just doesn't hear the shield running towards him. Ace catches him off guard, shoots him in the side from the kitchen, and takes care of him. 2v4, the name of the game, and 2 bodies now gained for TSG after a quick turn of events. They suffer that first fatality, and look at the way they managed to bounce back from that. Now they're granted full verticality because Mira and Bennett are going to be in sight. One of them waits in the tunnel, and the other one tries to play verticality and grab a kill, and bang, that's a connection. Watto with that fighting hope for his team. He's closed out that deficit in the terms of man advantage to just 1, and the question is, can he continue to get this done? Cargo being held down very heavily, but the verticality is going to come into effect. EXO is definitely a room you can expect to get heavy amounts of pressure applied in the later stages of the round. Just below a minute left, and these attackers are not going to have to be careful, because if they suffer another fatality, especially that shield off, oh, it's going to be such a horrible spot to have to deal with. Ollie is here for the task. 2 doubles as he'll take care of business, and that'll be a 2v1 after Slasher is now left by himself to retrieve the case and find 2 bodies in a matter of 35 seconds. What a beautiful play. The initiative was there. He took it, he capitalized, and that's that high risk, high reward factor that a lot of teams love to have. Now, a game of just ring around the rosy, they're going to just wait for this attacker to come to them because the defenders have no more reason, no more need to swing. Let's see if they can play it out here. Dream Esports. Lots of people are rooting for them. This would be an upset in my eyes if they manage to take this home. But Nighthaven defense, you cannot let it get to your head. It is very easy compared to its attack, but the way they're playing, they've been playing it absolutely amazing. Ben is sitting close, messes up. You could have just ran away, but not being able to be seen, and Mira's head is just seen at that last second. Slasher can't capitalize or react fast enough, and that's the round. And it was played beautifully throughout. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, while we wait to get word on that rehost, we will be back in a couple of seconds. Think about what you've just seen, but they've set the tone, and we are excited to see what's going to come up. So I'm thinking a 1 to 2 minute break, and I apologize, but we will be back quite soon. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen, but we are back. A first round that you need to use as an example for the future of today. As it stands, TSG Black stands at the top of their bracket with a win. Dream Esports are at the bottom with a -2 round difference and a round loss. Keep that in mind. Lots of teams have the ability to be able to continue and build on their lead, to build upon their group stage. But Dream Esports look like they're swinging right out the gate. Maybe it's just because they're on defense, but as of now, they are looking like they are up for the task to take down TSG. Verticality looks to be held out by the mute here. Anybody trying to play off that warehouse window is going to have a nice surprise of buckshot shotgun to the teeth. Ash has been brought. It's inevitable that she's going to get swung as well. Wick looks like he knows exactly what the plan is. He's going to wait. No drones on him, and he knows it. Continues to capitalize. Looks to run out, but you just could have waited a second longer, and it would have been a fatality. You're going to decide to continue to swing. We'll land some damage, and we'll be dealt the same towards you. Both Wick and Mikiro are now left at 75 HP, or Mookie for short. Left at level. Now, no fatalities so early into the round. By this time, last round, we were seeing two casualties by that time. As of now, though, Rin looks to continue with the narrative of finding a kill within the first minute as he is addressing Raptors oh so fast. They're going to give it up completely and sneak away and manage to get a reinforce off, but now they've given up IT and Raptors. That's exactly why you just can't do that. Mookie threads that needle from distance and will take care of Watto as now their warden's taken care of. That'll be a problem. There are flashes on the board, as now the attackers can continue to divide these defenders one by one. If Azami decides to swing carelessly, it might meet her maker, but it's going to be one man. Floor is continuing to have to swing two bodies at once. You're going to have to play a game of guess who, and you have to be safe about it. Landed 2 bullets onto the bandit, but now you just need to be able to take care of the utility that is there. Mute, since his last roam, he's now back inside an electrical, all safe. These attackers might find this out the hard way. They're waiting for a roam. They're getting their boxes ticked off one by one. But in the meantime, you're taking it low. Rin and Flores are just waltzing on in while you guys continue to try to clear 2 players outside of electrical. Rin waltzes in. Flores, easy kill for you, but you get shot in the side. All in, Worry are here for the job. Quick comeback, a flank looking to come in, but a little too late. That plan's going down in the opposite site. What are you going to do about it? C4 tossed out, baited perfectly. Azami is just here for it. He's making you worry, as now you found yourself in a deficit yet again after finding the first 2 picks. What are you going to be able to do now? Yuki's at 1 HP, have 35 seconds left, and the case is loose in the middle of the site. So many problems, all unaddressed. How are you going to be able to adapt? You'll just have Cheek. Waltz on in. Find one. Still 2 more bodies. 2 more fatalities to claim. There's no cross established from that Raptor side. Mookie's just going to be the main problem here. That'll be the first. Health doesn't matter to him. He'll delete the first, and that'll be Cheek to find the second. Look at that teamwork. Health doesn't matter to one of them, and the other is just there. Makes the play. Waltzes on in, and TSG tie it up. Both sides of this affair look like they know exactly what they want to do. TSG, that is a round straight out the textbook on how to make a comeback. You looked lost that first round. Your positioning was off. You had Rin on that Blackbeard terrorizing anybody who walked into his crosshairs. But the second you got to EXO, it all fell apart. The second your shield op falls, due to him throwing a drone down, which was a little interesting in my opinion, it all fell apart. But from there, look at how they were able to build up. They were allowed to slow themselves down. Even after that little tech pause, we're not going to call it a real because we didn't leave, but that little pause, it allowed them to reset. It allowed them to evaluate what matters most, and now they've won that second floor site. Dream Esports not taking the chance of being able to give them 2 free rounds on that upstairs site, so they will head on to the first floor onto Warehouse. Looking to address verticality first. They'll take care of that garage wall to add in that pressure for anybody roaming in and around Rafters area. Now, the question is, what are you going to be able to do to build off of that? We've seen how you can make late round clutches, but can you set yourself up into a situation where you don't have to deal with that? Rin, an absolutely lethal player on that Blackbeard. The rest of TSG take their time to be able to bring that right operator. One of them will bring the soft breach. One of them will bring that Ash. They'll bring the spearhead at the attack. They'll continue to work as a team. In the meantime, Rin will find first blood. You'll have your Ram at 1 HP, but now it's opened up a complete different side of the map. TSG looking for that string to pull on. They're finding that thread. They found the first, but the question is, are they going to get refragged? Yes, they are. Or are they going to be able to build up the attack? They cut me off, made me eat my own words, but now you're going to have to be able to adapt. You're going to have Muki trying to make that individual clutch play. You're going to have to try something, and the something is Rin just flying in through that Raptors rotate. Shredded in from the electrical side. Rin, look to the side, he'll be taken care of. The double pinned is going to look to find his next, but now the grasp onto upstairs in command is a little too strong to be able to address from one side in IT. Somebody's going to have to catch one of these attackers off guard, and before that'll happen, your spearhead, the person who's trying to make those stealthy plays, is going to fall. Action all over the map. A minute left on the clock, and now TSG have 2 bodies dropped with no responses against. Verticality still left unaddressed. Legion is long gone. He's no longer an electrical. There's nothing to do anymore. There's less than a minute left. There's no direct hatch drop into this site. You can drop through the garage, but there's just so many risky angles. So what are you going to do is the question. The clock continues to boil down. They're left at that 35-second mark, and finally Slasher finds himself in a position to advance throughout Command and CC. You find yourself in Waterfall. You know exactly where the Kaid is, but a little too late. You've addressed the first body, but where are the others? There's 20 seconds left. The kid is across the map, and all of these defenders are just waiting to capitalize. They don't even want the kill. They're just going to pop the utility. They're going to continue to ping you. They're going to continue to punish you for even getting in their crosshairs, and it'll be Ollie to clutch it out. Dream find their second, and that'll be them to reclaim the round. Interesting setup. I mean, you guys can't see me behind the screen. You can't see me behind the camera. I am jumping with joy right now. The last Nighthaven game I casted was a snooze fest. A 7-1 was the score line, and that one round that was lost was a troll round where they tried to rush the site. Finally, just finally, I get to continue and cast some competitive gameplay. Both of these teams, they just look hungry. They both look like they want to win, and that is what I crave when I cast this game. Pin, Ollie, you've made 2 very, very good plays. Pin isn't having the best of matches right now, but the guy found the first pick on Rin, and that dissected the whole attacking play. From there, Ollie capitalized. Ollie made that individual clutch factor on EXO. He made that play on the first round. He took care of Rin then. And finally, we're going to see a site setup that doesn't require the shield pressure. Rin, an absolute powerhouse on that Blackbeard, and he's going to continue to probably do that when Siege X drops, just because of how broken that meta is. But as of now, it looks like they're just going to comfort the Ratty operator instead of a shield op, will be accompanied now by the Ying. looking to just walk on in to find that first kill. Can you find it? TSG, you guys seem to only hear the music when you find yourselves in a deficit. You're 1 round down. What are you going to do to address it? 30 seconds off the clock, and the fundamentals are being checked off. Walls open, drones getting sent on in, and the utility being used to set yourself up for a good execute. As it stands, you haven't addressed the verticality yet. You haven't found both of the players that are sitting upstairs. And the Animus hatch, yes, is soft. You're going to look to address the site head on, but do you have that garage coverage to be able to say it's safe? Bandit, what the hell are you doing? Ollie, forgetting his headset at home. I was just glazing, but apparently that just makes you forget the basics of Siege. Doesn't hear Mookie walk in, and this will be an easy plant because there is no verticality now on that Animus hatch. All you have to do is just sit on the hatch. Why would you swing? The coverage was all you needed, but that'll be an essential piece of the map taken care of. They'll have Rin there as a substitute on the verticality. Mookie and Rin team up to try to take care of business, and now the plan is now a very possible type of execute. There's a call in Dokubi's hand, but if she uses it, you'll leave yourself vulnerable to the 2 players upstairs knocking on the door of the Animus hatch and verticality in general. They're looking to address the site, but that verticality is becoming a problem. You have to know where it's from. Rin denying worry, but the plant's going to go down regardless. Castle looking to deny, can deny. That'll be the plant taken care of. A minute left on the clock, and now they find themselves in an even more comfortable position to be able to continue. Pinned, looking to find it, but is unaware the case is going down. What the hell, did he just disconnect? 1v3, the plant successfully goes down, and there's 3 bodies, and the quick flick from Mookie will take care of business. What the hell just happened? Another tech pause, but now for the other team. I mean, what else is there to say? Both teams know exactly what they're doing. When it comes to TSG Black, there's those little mistakes that they need to get rid of right now because it's a BO1. Yes, points are on the line. Yes, you need to play as a team. It's not as important as the playoffs if you do get to that point, but that is the main idea. You have to play to get towards the playoffs area. You need to be able to lock in, and you need to be able to capitalize on the rounds earlier in the map. Now, we are on Nighthaven attack for TSG Black. The question is, can they continue to take away rounds from Dream Esports? Because if they find themselves in that 3-3 tie situation, we're looking at a completely different narrative when they switch on. Dream, they're playing amazing together. A little bit of an interesting and shaky round on that basement considering what happened last time around. But they found themselves winning 2 rounds. Not in a row, but they've managed to get themselves on the board. All that matters now is being able to lock in and find that final thread to get that needle where they want it to be. 3-3, not a horrible scoreline, but for Dream, if they can walk out of it with that 4-2 scoreline, then we are looking at a completely different ballgame when they switch on to the attack. But for now, while we wait for our tech pause to end for the 30th time, we'll be back after a quick break. Go grab a refresher, jumping jack, a backflip, whatever you want to do. Grab some water. Make sure to follow if you're enjoying, and we'll be right back. I told you a quick refresher was all you needed. We're back in business. The second last defensive round here for Dream Esports. They're giving us that beautiful first impression. They know what they're doing and they're giving them a challenge. I mean, when I looked at the groups, when I saw them at the bottom with that -2 score difference, I knew they can compete. They took a team to 7-5, and that's saying something. But I thought that final nail in the coffin, which we've yet to see, we'll see it when we get to the later stages of the game, but teams need to be able to find that last nail in the coffin to be able to seal a team's fate and take the win home. If that's what happened the last time around, they just couldn't find that match point, then that is a completely different factor. But the way they've been playing, they look like a winning team right now. TSG Black, always fighting to keep themselves in it. It's been a game of back and forth, a game of cat and mouse. And can they continue to build off of it? Now, the previous time we watched this site, Rin made the play to take control of Raptors. Then you have Mookie funneling in from IT to take care of that side of the building. And from there, the Flores continued to send in those terror pressures from Aqua, establishing so much control. But Rin, the control isn't even needed at this point because the Flores and the Blackbeard just waltz on in. One fatality from Waterfall, the other from the Rafters area. You have to be willing to understand how they're going to play. They've done it multiple times, and you didn't place a Frostmet on the window of Raptors. That'll become a problem when it comes to your executes. 2 bodies, make that 1 left to deal with the full attacking pressure of TSG. A different monster to find. And that is going to be the lead in the favor of TSG for the first time in a minute. One more round where they can look to either put themselves up 2 or fall short and find themselves in a tie where they'll switch on to defense. An interesting round here for Dream Esports. I mean, you were doing so well. What happened? Why is there no Frostmat on that window? Why is there nobody aimed in at the person who's flew in through that window 3 times now? You went to that site 3 times, and he just continued to build upon what they were doing. Honestly, you're just asking for it. What's going to be different about this round? I mean, this game is one of the only games in the world that has one round with a completely different storyline than the next. Something different can always happen. But it's all about what the players on your screen can do to continue and fulfill that prophecy. Rin, Mr. Entry Frag himself, you would think the Ash from either Mookie or Sibui would be the ones that would be the spearhead of the attack. You had Mookie trying to make the play once. We haven't seen him try those heroics since then. It has just been Rin flying into the building, round in and round out. A very similar hold. This is probably the best site setup I've seen from them. Dream shut this down on the verticality, then throughout the map. They did it perfectly the last time around. The question is, can they continue and push for that narrative? Because now you're down rounds. Now you have to push yourselves to find yourselves in a tie for that halftime. Mookie, boots on the ground, but we'll walk right back out. Sibui, looking at the same entry that Mookie tried when he was trying to attack this site, but none of them have been successful so far. Let's see if the Ash can change this narrative. They look to address the verticality, but they won't have that very essential piece of the puzzle, which is called Rafters, but they will have the verticality. No, they won't. Nobody's watching him from the window, but the plant's going to go down regardless. The bodies start dropping like dominoes. You run out for the defuse. If you run out to try to kill somebody, that Claymore kills you. But you've given up a lot of control now. Who's here on the case? Wick, do you have the ability to stake the diffuser? You forced the Goyo off. Mookie's forced to kill now. And it's all about, can you force these 2 defenders off of it? One man from the verticality, the other addressing warehouse. He's sticking the defuse. There's no verticality. And he got the counter plant off. Defenders, Dream, find themselves at level as they switch on to attack with a beautiful heroic diffuse. just can't allow yourselves to have that verticality from warehouse and from above. It becomes a problem when you cannot establish it. Team coordination is everything in this game, and you just fell short because you couldn't watch it. I don't know. Mookie was just looking scared. You've been cooking up so far. I'm pretty sure you're on double digits now, and you've been scared to swing that. That was a very easy 4-2 split, but somehow Dream Esports pull out a card from the Wazoo and take home a third. First order of business for TSG Black is going to head on upstairs to the command area. Let's see if they can play it out better than Dream Esports. They haven't been able to get that lucky. They're 0 for 2 so far on that site. Ollie responding with that initiative of using a shield lock. But instead of Blackbeard, we'll now be seeing Blitz. No spear on this board. I mean, no buck, nothing to shoot out from below. The question is, how are they going to be able to open up the floor here and try to get rid of the man trying to trick the wall? Because Mookie's there. He's ready to trick as well. He's even waiting for somebody to swing him on that verticality. I mean, a little interesting here. Dream Esports really taking their time. They're waiting for some of the aggression, but it's just not being met with anything right now. There you go. Finally some leeway. But now, Mookie just watching the first. They're going to give up the wall. He's not even going to try to bandit trick. I was wondering why he was there. But as of now, they will have IT wall opened up. Mookie giving up that connector wall. And Rin finding first blood by taking care of business. Make that 2 fatalities here. The rush from Dream completely denied, and that is Aqua's pressure completely dissipated. Close range gunfight. Holographic versus ACOG. You can basically zoom into his nostrils at this point when you are this close. Worry. You better worry for yourself. Do you know he's sitting close right? Mookie will find a pick to continue and grow that advantage for his team. He's put the kit loose, the drop shot, very quick thinking, but now you found yourself below 20 HP. Kit loose and only 2 attackers to address the 4 bodies on defense. We've seen what happens every single time when they don't build off of the bodies. We see ourselves in a 2v4 situation, and the 2 players left last alive find themselves in a horrible situation where they just play scared to try to bait out their kills. A little bit of a miss here from Capitao, and Mookie will be sure to punish you, sends you an invoice for 3 headshots. A little bit lost here for the second man on IT, but 3 bodies make it 2, as pinned makes it much more realistic to address. Cheek. One more Toxic Babe to deny the plant, but guess what? That case is loose, so you can just continue to run away. He's going to either have to go for the case or isolate the gunfight, and he is going to go for the former. Using those Hawaiian launchers. Unaware of the fact that there's a man sitting close with a shotgun. And now that'll be the round for TSG Black, as it looks like they found their footing on defense. What a game this has really been. Both sides are trying to combat each other, but sometimes we find ourselves with very one-sided affairs, and that goes for either side. That control room site for Dream Esports was a perfect defensive hold, and they found themselves with that 2-man advantage, and then they made it 3 and even 4 at one point. They continued to build up upon it, but now, what happens when TSG Black knocks on your door, and the only reason you find yourself in a 1v2 is because they threw 2 bodies at you? Now, I mean, I don't want to call myself a comedian, but I worry when it comes to playing Dokkaebi, especially against these guys. The roster looks amazing, but last round we weren't seeing any forms of room clear. Granted, it was almost a 5-man bunker strat until the very last second, but you find yourselves in the basement. You're bringing the Blitz, you're bringing the Deimos, and you're bringing the Rain. Lots of players are ready to deal with both the verticality, soft breaching, and almost anything under the sun that you could think of. But now you've brought the Dokkaebi, and you're going to risk yourself because Dokkaebi needs to get involved. That DMR packs a punch, and so does her secondary. One of the easiest operators to be able to back up a Blitz because of the amount of utility she'll provide. Mist Drone doesn't cover the Vigil and almost costs Ollie his life. They're waiting. They're playing Ring Around the Rosie with Mookie, and I eat all my words because it now looks like this roam clear is successfully working. 2 operators being located. Ollie finds himself trying to add in that pressure, but a C4 from downtown takes him to 1 HP. 1 shot to the toe. Are there 3 defenders up there? Vigil left by himself, but can manage. Looking to go out with a swing, a bang, and that's exactly what he'll do. Blitz taken care of. Say goodbye to the Spearhead as now your attack has become a little bit more dull. You still have the advantage with the fact that you still have a Deimos, a Dokkaebi, and 2 soft reachers on the board. 3 roamers. 1 man left in sight, and he's holding it down like Fort Knox. A brick wall remains within. He's even going to try to help out by throwing a C4 in the verticality while he waits for somebody to make the mistake of walking on his soft floors. A game of floor is lava here for Slasher, while the rest of his team look to punish any wandering attackers. The first death mark, using the man sitting in kitchen, and Rin's going to play a game of Ring Around the verticality. The question is he going to be able to capitalize? This pistol packs a punch once you get hit once. Forced to go back to site, he waits for the remainder of the effect to go away, and is going to be allowed free reign of Exo yet again if he decides to go back up. Did he just die to fall damage? Read that ass. That's a sign from the UB developers. A fatality due to fall damage, and I mean, you're not fully dead, but you are at 20 HP now, and it's going to be a problem for your future executes where you're going to have to be considerate of your health. I love these situations. I love these rounds because we find ourselves with 40 seconds on the clock and 35 seconds on the board. 8 bodies is an immense amount of pressure for both sides to deal with, especially for the attackers when full verticality is being established this late in the round. That Gumine could have claimed a body. 1 C4 is enough to claim the 2 bodies here. They look to claim Brent shot down to 1 HP, but Worry there to capitalize. 15 seconds left, and these attackers are knocking on the door of this defense, but nobody's home. They're all sitting in ratty positions. They're all waiting for that plant to go down so they can deny. Wick, you find yourself trying to save your team, and Slasher's not there for the C4. How are we allowing this to happen? It'll go down. Cheek finds another before he'll fall. Deals some damage, but not enough as Worry makes me eat all my words. His individual clutch factor is destroying everybody. Slasher for 2 as well, leaving it at level as now they find themselves 2v2. Verticality established, and Slasher now falling on the front lines. A res is the best idea now with the fact that Pind is watching verticality. Unaware, but Worry aces. He's made me eat my words completely as now they've tied it right back up at 4. What a game this has been. Oh my god. 8 bodies, and I told you anything can happen once we get to that last couple of seconds in a round. A completely different expectation. I mean, there was 2 C4s on the board, and we had waited so long to use them. Granted, Valkyrie had used hers earlier upstairs to take off all of that damage from the Blitz, but what are we doing when we have Kaid sitting in sight the whole time? He even retrieved that C4. We've seen him do it. Where was that C4 when it came to the plant? He could have just sat camped out right here. 1 C4 would have claimed the life of that planter, considering he was 20 HP. Beautiful, though, from Dream Esports. Look at that thread and way to capitalize on their advantage. on the front lines. Rin, you don't need a shield up to hit headshots, as he'll take care of business. A beautiful first kill, and now you can just seek refuge within the site. But knowing TSG Black, knowing the aggression from Rin, I don't think he's going to take that narrative, or he's going to take me up on that offer anytime soon. They've brought Ollie on the blitz again, but I mean, droning is attacker 101 because you would have found the Griezmann on the top left of that door. Shield moves out of his face and deleted by the bodies waiting to capitalize upon, but now Sheik will alleviate the pressure coming in from the waterfall. Otherwise, we would have been seeing a completely different narrative. Frag grenade sent in, looking to isolate the ones. But what are you going to do? Run out that clash? Because now that frag grenade's effect has gone down, and you have the very unfortunate pleasure of having to deal with Rin. Mr. Debutant Ace made me eat my words, and so much respect carries, but now you find yourselves below that 90-second mark. What are you going to do? Oh, worry. Don't make me worry anymore. You have my full confidence. You have my full trust, but you still find yourselves level on a Nighthaven attack. What are you going to do to address it? Because now you're down 2 bodies, and there's 5 on the defensive, including a shield off. The clock runs down. That'll be another fatality here for Dream. Where are you guys? We're falling asleep at the wheel. It's a continuous game of make yourselves contend for that match point, but you fall asleep when it comes to taking the lead. 4-4, and we find ourselves with Wick, case in hand. 30 seconds left on the clock, and the defender is asking questions he doesn't have answers to. He looks to Free Fire. He looks to do all of these gymnastics in and around the map, but they'll fall. TSG claiming their second defensive, and that'll be them to reclaim the lead. Well, 1 round shy now from that match point. A little bit of friendly banter in the chat here, but as it stands, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be, if we go to overtime, I am going to be doing jumping jacks, and I'll do it on stream. I was asked to do the gritty. I'll even do that, even though I'm, you know, very confined to a green screen while I'm on my feet. I'll make it work. They'll head on upstairs. Again, it's been 3 rounds. The parameter resets, and they'll allow themselves to try and address this site. 1 more at TSG, and you find yourselves in contention for the match, for the points to continue with your lead, to push yourselves on top of the standings. Problem is, every time we found you in a 1-round lead, you've destroyed the bed, forgot it at home, and allowed Dream to play catch-up. Run out, almost takes out Ollie, but somehow manages to stay alive. Rin, not there to contest. Always 2 players who are locked in while the rest of the team plays support. Rin and Mookie find themselves with 26 kills combined. Bandit trick coming on in, but not fast enough before he can get that right side. That'll be the breach to fall. Let's see how they'll play it out here. Drones have now located the man and playing on that Raptors, but the Kiba barrier is going to waste some attack utility. Not a lot, but some. Live pings onto the Azami. That Bailiff in the close range, he knows it's lethal. Might be able to find the first. Oh, Sibui. Oh, you haven't been having the greatest of games. Don't punish yourself even further. carelessly swinging, putting yourself in front of things that are breachable. Almost finding the first, but now the pressure is there, and you can deny one. Capitao finds himself adding in that pressure for you, but you'll just walk out victorious. You've eased off the pressure now. I mean, every time I say something about a player, about their scoreline, they make me eat my words, and I'm absolutely loving it. 2 kills there for Simply to completely ease off that pressure from the Raptors area. Rin in the close range with that shotgun. You don't want to be in the receiving end of it. Watto finds himself with 2 flashes, but his only counterpart is sitting in there waiting to use those beautiful, beautiful glasses. 50 seconds left on the clock, and yet again we find ourselves in a situation where TSG Black have the round advantage. They have the utility, they have the ability to be able to capitalize. Watto still looking to walk in here. Warden has given up his control. That's the second flame bolt used. The mirror burned. But now, you still haven't even found any access towards the site. You've now taken care of electrical, but you haven't walked in the breach. And Cheeg, where the hell is Cheeg? He's fully outside, looking to get some fresh air, some sun absorbed. Somebody's gonna have to go take care of him. But 1 kill for Rin. Make it 2, and he finds the 3rd! Oh, Rin! You filthy animal with that shotgun. You can take care of business, and it's a massacre in electricals. We head on to the match point. The lead grown to 2 in TSG Black. Oh, what a play to take care of business, and it's nobody else but the man I was talking about to continue to push himself above his leaderboard. The timeout, so essential to be called. I mean, I don't have a listen-in for you guys, but I can only imagine it's a mix of passion, screaming, and an absolute call to action to wake the fuck up. What are we seeing? This is insane. There's just no way in hell we find ourselves in situations where Rin executes 3 of you within 30 seconds. I mean, absolutely beautiful. You're aware of the ability of your shotgun. You'll take care of the first, the second, and then the third. You have managed to put yourself in a situation where you can capitalize, and nobody can take that away from you. Beautiful from TSG Black and Dream Esports find themselves failing to put that final nail in the coffin. Oh, usually the teams that call themselves or find themselves in a timeout win the next round. But can they change this? If we see a game lost right here, I can't say I'm surprised. Dream Esports, you're seeing the change of pace with those first 2 rounds. They were challenging every single time, and even when they were losing rounds, they were still putting up numbers. Now, the pressure is completely gone. And that's kind of starting to make sense here of maybe why they lost last week 7-5. Oh, that's going to make matters so much worse. Mira plus Cade equals recipe for disaster, especially when it's not on site. They're going to look to deny. The mid floor is the site. You have the Blackbeard. Maybe some pressure, because now they have the Rayora. See if they'll be able to play it out successfully. First EMP, where is it used? The garage wall looks to get opened up soon, but they can't find it. Is it on the vert? Where is that claw? That claw is definitely making a problem or making some sort of issue for these attackers try to capitalize upon. That's the second EMP used and no walls. There you go. They finally found it. The drone took care of business. Is he able to get it off in time is the main question. K-Trick getting sent in, and he takes care of every single Selma. Say goodbye to any access of Vert. As Valkyrie takes Ollie below 50 HP, Cheeg will make matters worse by finding 1, 2, and I feel like I need to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is the game. 3 bodies now dropped, and this is Siege. This is the TSG Black I remember casting a while back. They know what they're doing. They'll capitalize and get aggressive when needed. And they'll even have 2 players combining for 30 kills. Oh, Worry, I haven't seen you get a kill since you aced. And Wick, I haven't seen you at all, man. Something needs to be done. Can you build up to the point of pushing the end of this map? Can you hear the music is the question. They are continuing to push for a stone cold finish. You guys are allowing themselves to continue and build up the lead. I mean, simply, you're playing checkers, and they're on a different ball game. They're not even playing chess, they're just playing an advanced version of it. As you'll find the first, Worry catches one off guard, but can't find the next. And ladies and gentlemen, that's game as TSG Black take care of business, say sayonara, push down even further. Dream, you made me so excited. You made me think that we were going to see an upset here, but you'll have TSG Black soaring high as ever to go on to the next and claim their points. Let's take a look here at the standings before we find our final remarks. True Synergy Gaming will now find themselves mounting the top of the bracket and allowing themselves to have a great night off, as what a game that has been. But, ladies and gentlemen, on a final note, not a final note actually, I'm back here at 10 p.m. Eastern. Now, let me know in the chat if you want me to keep the stream up until 10 or if you guys want me to stop and then start again. But next up on the board, you will have Ooh versus Make-A-Wish Kid. I have been your caster doing everything behind the scenes. I've been Sino. I hope you enjoyed. Follow, subscribe if you're feeling naughty. Mess with all the socials. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you back here for another match at 10 p.m. EST.